Though this was brilliantly done, it really did feel like a modern day parable, a modern day fairy tale where the marionette comes to life. And it had that lovely dissonance by her very innocent, fantastical look, and our suspension of disbelief in that, with the grittiness of the world, this idea of possession, this loss of innocence, where men around want to purchase her, where she's bumping around with the world and coming into her own autonomy. So I thought it was a brilliant way to look at a coming of age story, a coming at a loss of innocence as a young woman, and the connections that we make, the community we make in that growth, and in figuring out how are we going to be? Who is our next persona to assume? And how do we move forward in losing what we once were? So I thought it was really beautifully shot. The cinematography was gorgeous. I thought the framing was excellent. And there was just a right amount of space throughout the piece for us to just have time to sit and breathe with this character.
A Life for Lily. I thought this was really, really interesting. I really, really liked that you didn't get much, I don't know, background with how this world worked and how this society kind of was set up, because having a human marionette was like a relatively normal accepted thing, and like obviously their treatment or how everybody else was treating her was really normal and accepted. And so having somebody treat her with kindness and like a human being was the difference. And I thought that was a really interesting take. I really liked how they set it all up, like I said, with just like one or two people kind of treating her with kindness and treating her with, you know, the respect of being a human. I thought it was really beautiful too. I really liked all of the kind of colors that they infused with it, especially once she kind of broke free from the storefront. And then I just thought it was really beautiful, and at the very end with her like getting her own picture and, you know, revealing that she can talk, which is something that nobody thought that marionettes could do. Like I said, I thought it was beautiful and well done.
Such a nice movie. I just love how, you know, magical it is, and you know, there's a magical realism obviously at work here in this story. You have this this marionette who's also kind of is a real person, and it's kind of a world that understands what's going on here, sort of, you know, and it's also just kind of fantastical that she meets this other woman, and the lady takes her in, and they're friends, and it's but you know, it's really nice, you know. They paint such a different and interesting world for us here in the beginning that we're accepting of all this. It all makes sense within the realm of this world. So yeah, no, it was really nice, really good movie. You know, everybody did a great job. The actresses, the main actresses especially, everybody who was on screen did a great job. Writing was good, directing, editing, pacing, good use of music. So yeah, it was a really nice film. So good luck with this. I hope it does well for you. I hope it gets out there and gets seen.
A Life for Lily was really, really cool. I loved the homage to Pinocchio and how they sort of put a twist on that story for Lily's story. I thought the makeup and the costumes were really cool to see. I loved how every character had their very own unique look with costume, even the different costumes were different periods. So I thought that was really cool, and a very creative way to bring out their characters. I loved the story itself, that it was cute and heartwarming, but also it had these more sinister bits. And I loved the relationship between Coco and Lily. I thought that was a very heartwarming sort of friendship that evolved. And the world itself that was created in this film was really creative and imaginative. So I would love to see more from this world that sort of opened up in this story. So yeah, overall, this was a really cool film, very creative, and I really enjoyed watching it.
I really enjoyed A Life for Lily. I think it was a great, almost fairy tale. It was a very female-centric fairy tale following this marionette as they go through the world, and they see how they're kind of peddled as this woman, and what it's like to be a woman, and having to go through these different traumas and events in our lives, and having to rebuild ourselves and see and learn and be, who do we want to be. This was like a modern day fairy tale for women. And I think it's such a great story. I really want to commend you for that, because it was really, really interesting to watch. It was written really, really well. The dialogue was great. The actors did a great job. There was a great sense of world building and sense of disbelief from the very beginning of this piece, which led the rest to be very entertaining to watch, but not trying to jump through hoops to understand what's going on. Excuse me. So you do a lovely job of that. I want to commend you for the pacing. A lot of great shots in this. It was really lovely to watch. And the story, like I said, was really telling for the modern day. Really lovely story. Very well done.
This is about freedom, the choice to live, to be authentically you. This starts off in a marionette shop surrounded by puppets, but in the center we see a life-size figure strapped with the crossbow to a rope, and a gentleman caller comes inside the shop and he wants to buy her. And at first the puppeteer mentions that this is his most valued item. She's not for sale, but as the story goes, anybody has a price. She is not seen as a human being by any means. She's nothing more but a mere object to them. And when they aren't looking, she knows that this could be her last moments of freedom, as she, well, not really freedom, but she chooses to cut herself free and escape from being sold off. And she doesn't wish to stay behind either. The marionette is devastated by his financial loss, and she comes across a stranger who helps her escape this fate, and she wanders, adventuring towards the forest, getting this taste of freedom. You know, she meets Coco, the first person to really see her for who she really is as a being, and she invites her into her home to take off her makeup, her frilly dresses and dance shoes, for she doesn't tolerate any nonsense going on in her household, you know, kicking out these men who see her as a toy that they can play with. She steps out of the shoes of the marionette and into Lily. I like that she becomes fascinated with the pictures, and that Coco notices this and kind of goes out of her way to share this proper moment, to really cherish this moment of Lily shaping into her new sense of freedom and identity.